Have you ever wondered why robots can't check the box that says, "I am not a robot"? It's a question that's puzzled many of us as we navigate the digital world. This, my friends, is the paradox of CAPTCHA. CAPTCHA, which stands for Completely Automated Public Turing Test to Tell Computers and Humans Apart, is a system designed to identify whether a user is human or a bot. It's a sort of digital gatekeeper, protecting websites from bots that could potentially cause harm. How does it work? Well, when you're asked to tick a box or identify images, you're actually taking a test. A test designed to be simple for humans, yet challenging for bots. It's a clever way to distinguish between human users and automated software. It seems simple enough, right? But there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into the intriguing world of CAPTCHA. So how does this test actually work to keep robots at bay, you might ask? Well, it's quite fascinating. CAPTCHA, which stands for Completely Automated Public Turing Test to Tell Computers and Humans Apart, is a test designed to thwart automated software or bots. Now, when we say robot here, we're not referring to the likes of R2-D2 or Wall-E. No, in this context, a robot is simply a piece of software that's been programmed to perform tasks automatically without human intervention. These tasks might include filling out forms on websites, which, as you can imagine, can be exploited by cybercriminals for spamming or even for more nefarious purposes. So how does CAPTCHA come into play? Well, it's all about creating a task that's simple for humans but challenging for robots. The essence of a CAPTCHA lies in its ability to generate tasks that require a certain level of cognitive or visual perception, something that humans excel at but robots not so much. Take the classic CAPTCHA example, the distorted text. Humans, with our amazing pattern recognition abilities, can look at a jumbled mess of squiggly lines and letters and discern what's written. But for a bot, that's a much tougher task. It's a bit like trying to read someone's messy handwriting. Easy for a human, but imagine trying to teach a robot to do that. Or consider the "I am not a robot" checkbox. For a human, it's a simple click. But for a bot, which is programmed to mimic human behavior, this simple task presents a paradox. The bot is designed to fill forms, but if it ticks the box, it essentially admits it's not a robot, which is a contradiction. It's a bit like telling a lie detector you're lying, it just doesn't compute. In other words, CAPTCHA is designed to be a task that is easy for humans but difficult for robots. It's a clever system that leverages our uniquely human abilities to keep the internet a safer place for all of us. But what makes this simple task so hard for robots? Well, to understand this, we must dive into the technical aspects of the CAPTCHA system. When you encounter a CAPTCHA, you're essentially facing a challenge that has been meticulously designed to exploit the key differences between human and machine cognitive abilities. Let's take the example of image recognition CAPTCHAs. These tasks might ask you to identify all the images that contain a certain object, say a traffic light or a crosswalk. To us, this seems simple. We can easily discern between different objects in an image, but for robots, this is a significant challenge. Remember, robots don't see the world the way we do. They process information in binary and zeros and ones, so interpreting complex visual information is not their forte. Then we have text-based CAPTCHAs that present distorted or obscured text. Now you might wonder, why distort the text? Well, computer programs are excellent at reading clear, unobstructed text, but when the same text is distorted or obscured, these programs struggle. They lack the human ability to interpret and understand distorted patterns. So when you're asked to type in distorted text or recognize specific objects and images, you're actually demonstrating your unique human cognitive abilities. Abilities that robots, despite all their sophistication, have yet to master. But CAPTCHA systems don't stop there. They also analyze your behavior as you complete the task. They observe how you move your mouse, how quickly you respond, and even your typing speed. This behavioral analysis is another layer of security that makes it even harder for automated systems to pass the test. It's worth noting that the technology behind CAPTCHA is always evolving, always staying one step ahead of the robots. As bots become more intelligent, the tasks in CAPTCHAs become more complex, requiring more distinctively human traits to solve. So, while it seems like a simple checkbox, it's actually a complicated test designed to outsmart automated systems. But why can humans pass this test and robots can't? It's a question that tickles the brain, doesn't it? Well, the answer lies in the unique cognitive abilities of humans that, as of now, robots can't quite match. Consider, for instance, our ability to recognize patterns. Even when patterns are distorted, obscured, or presented in a less than ideal manner, our brains are exceptional at picking them out. We can make sense of a word written in a sloppy handwriting or recognize a face in a crowd. These tasks, which seem so simple to us, are incredibly challenging for robots. Why is that? Well, it's because pattern recognition in humans isn't just about identifying shapes or colors. It's about understanding the context, seeing the big picture, and making connections based on our past experiences. We can look at a squiggly line and see a snake, or a cloud and see a dragon. We find patterns not just in what we see, but also in what we think, feel, and remember. Robots, on the other hand, are bound by the limits of their programming. They don't have experiences to draw upon or the ability to think beyond their predefined parameters. They can't look at a distorted word and understand it because they've seen similar words before. They can't recognize a face in a crowd because they've never met anyone. Moreover, robots lack the ability to interpret obscured or distorted information. While we can easily fill in the blanks when information is missing or unclear, robots can't. They need clear, defined inputs to function effectively. So while robots can process information much faster than humans, they still struggle with tasks requiring human-like perception and cognition. It's this fascinating interplay between human intelligence and robotic limitations that makes a simple checkmark in a box an insurmountable hurdle for our silicon counterparts. And for now, it's what keeps the internet a largely human domain. What's next for CAPTCHA and the battle against robots? As we've seen, CAPTCHA tests have become a crucial layer of defense against bots on the internet, but they're not foolproof. The limitations of CAPTCHA are becoming more apparent as bots continue to grow more sophisticated, learning to mimic human behavior and outsmart these tests. CAPTCHA's current form is a result of an ongoing arms race between developers and those who try to exploit the system, and it's a race that's far from over. As bots learn to beat one form of CAPTCHA, developers must come up with new, more complex tests. We've seen this evolution from simple text-based CAPTCHA to image recognition and even to behavioral analysis. But what does the future hold? One possibility is the development of even more complex tests. Imagine a CAPTCHA that requires you to solve a puzzle, or one that uses augmented reality to create a test that bots simply can't pass. These are just a few of the ideas being floated around. However, the future of CAPTCHA may not lie in complexity, but in artificial intelligence and machine learning. Already, we're seeing the potential for machine learning algorithms to drastically improve CAPTCHA tests. By learning from each interaction, these systems could potentially create a test that's easy for humans, but incredibly difficult for bots. But it's not just about making tests harder. The future of CAPTCHA could also be about making them more user-friendly. After all, security measures are only effective if they don't discourage legitimate users. We could see CAPTCHA tests that are not only more secure, but also more enjoyable to solve. And what about the bots? Well, they're not standing still. As artificial intelligence continues to advance, we could see bots that are capable of passing even the most complex CAPTCHA tests. It's a battle of wits, and it's one that's set to continue into the foreseeable future. So while today's robots can't check the "I am not a robot" box, who knows what the future might bring? So let's sum up what we've learned today. CAPTCHA, which stands for Completely Automated Public Turing Test to tell computers and humans apart, is a clever system designed to distinguish between human users and robotic ones. Its primary function is to protect websites from bots, automated scripts that can cause a range of issues from spam to data theft. The reason robots can't simply check the "I am not a robot" box is because CAPTCHA employs a range of complex tests, from image recognition to behavioral analysis, to determine whether the user is human. These tests are challenging for robots, as they require a level of cognitive flexibility that current AI technology lacks. Looking ahead, we can expect CAPTCHA to continually evolve, incorporating new tests and challenges to stay one step ahead of advancing robotic capabilities. So next time you check that "I am not a robot" box, remember, you're passing a test that's designed to outsmart the most advanced automated systems in the world.